And this is the world we're going into, and this is why they want digital currencies. This is why they want the whole world digital, because then they can basically take out of your bank account whenever they choose. And we've just had now this agreement at the G20. Of course, they all agreed, because they wouldn't dare not to, of moving to this so-called vaccine passport and these digital currencies, which suddenly everyone, like the drag queens, has had the same idea. Oh yeah, we'll go digital, have a digital currency. And it was 1992 that I wrote in a book called The Robots' Rebellion, that 1992, that the plan is to get rid of all cash and have a single world currency, which would not be cash. That's exactly where it's gone. And so what happened during the COVID era, the lockdown, and what are these vaccine passports working on? QR codes. And the idea, and it's already coming in, you've got credit card companies, MasterCard is one of them, who is producing cards which, as you use them through the month, are totting up your alleged carbon footprint. And once you get to a certain point of limit of carbon footprint, as they allege they've worked it out, you can't use the card anymore. And what is planned for this so-called vaccine passport, which is designed to be far more than just vaccines, though certainly that, and what's happening in China, is that you have a carbon limit, and beyond that, you can't buy anything anymore. And we're moving along the road towards carbon lockdowns, climate change lockdowns, where they say we've got to lock down because the carbon limit has been passed, etc. So the lockdowns of COVID are a precursor to lockdowns, not just for other pandemics, but lockdowns for climate change. So what you're looking at is
so they might lock us down in the future because we're putting out too much carbon.
Oh yeah.
Say
yeah,
the city shuts down, you shut down individually, and we're already conditioned to the lockdown. Now they have a different trigger.
Yeah, but it was all. It was actually pointed out during lockdown by these characters. Oh look, a lot less carbon's being created. You know, and by the way, a study's just come out that shows that the Earth has got 14% greener in terms of vegetation in the last 30 years. Now, why would that be? Well, let's answer it with another question. Why do growers in greenhouses put extra carbon dioxide into the greenhouse? Because it makes the plants grow bigger, stronger, and in greater abundance. So in this period, this industrial period, and this is not denied, the Earth has got greener. More food has been able to be produced. And the lower the carbon dioxide, the less the natural world flourishes. So you've got China as the blueprint. So let's look at this. What has been happening for decades and decades, is that Western corporations have been outsourcing their production, even of basic things, like antibiotics is dominated in terms of production in China, right? They've been outsourcing it to China. So more and more of the global supply chain of all these different goods has been handed to China. And so what have they done? They've given control to China, not only increasingly of energy production through wind turbines and solar panels, which are very limited in terms of energy production anyway, while they're destroying fossil fuel production. But they've given the control of the supply chain of basic things to China. And the supply chain has started to break up. And if you look, because one of the things that I've realized over the years is nothing happens for one reason. There's always multiple reasons. So you've got the developing extremes of control in China, which are planned eventually to come westward, that we're seeing now. But locking down hundreds of millions of people means you throw your production into disarray compared with what it was before. So you give a smack again to the supply chain of goods because you've given China so much control of global production. And I said decades ago that the plan was eventually to bring the West into a global war with the East, Russia and China predominantly. And we're actually seeing that already, because you've got the West now that is openly supporting, funding and arming Ukraine against Russia. Beat about the bush, the West is at war with Russia through Ukraine. Hello? But then you've got Russia that's being supported by China, not least economically in terms of buying its energy, but also in other ways. And so China's supporting Russia, the West is supporting Ukraine. You're seeing the pieces being moved into place for the very conflict that I've been talking about all these decades that was planned between the West and Russia, China. A conflict which is designed to be won by China. Why? Because China is the blueprint for the global cult. What is Klaus Schwab's a frontman for the cult and the World Economic Forum? What is their Great Reset? China is the Great Reset. That's what's coming.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.